Hi, everybody. This is Leslie Crudup, and I am the Business Liaisons. And thanks for joining me. I just want to talk to you for about 5 minutes, 7 minutes, no longer, about what content marketing is. And 5 to 7 minutes because I know that you're a business owner and you have a lot on your plate. You have a lot of decisions to make today. You have a lot of things that you need to take care of today. And at the same time, you need to always be engaging with how you can reach your customer. And I know that your time is valuable, so I'm going to make this short and sweet, and I hope that you get as much out of this as possible. And that is what content marketing primarily is about. Content marketing, it's a strategic marketing approach. So it's focused on creating and distributing value, and it needs to be consistent. And it's an avenue of marketing that you use in order to engage your customer. And so I'm engaging you today. So we know statistics, and statistics actually say that 80% of B2B marketers have a content marketing strategy. And so surveys tell us clearly, you can Google this, 72% of marketers feel that content marketing offers a better ROI. And if you don't know what content marketing is, I'm about to tell you it's short and sweet. Let me start first with asking the question of the year. Every business owner needs to ask this question simply. Are you better at solving your customers' problems better than anyone else in your space right now? So in your product, with your product and your service and in your industry, what are you doing to engage your particular customer? And why is it your customer and not your competitors or someone else in the industry? You have to ask yourself that question every day. It's a strategy to being successful as an entrepreneur. We already know that, right? So, plain and simple, your business means nothing if no one knows you. Marketing is crucial to business. We know businesses spend thousands, millions of dollars, I should say, on marketing alone because they realize how vital it is to business survival and how vital it is to manifesting your brand because your brand is your belief and it's your foundation. And if you don't know what that is, then you have no idea who your customer is. And so this is one of the most crucial points of being an entrepreneur, and marketing is the head of it. One of the reasons that brands fail is because content marketing is not about selling. Folks that try to sell rather than provide a genuine value to their customers are going to find themselves in some deep water. It's not about selling, it's about value. So, how good are you? How good are you at knowing your customer? And when I say knowing your customer, I mean knowing who they are from a demographic standpoint. What are their values and beliefs? What made them or drew them to your product or service? So once you start looking at that and identifying that, there's where you start creating your value. And then, of course, once you're creating your value, that manifests to your brand. And so you need to engage your customers. You need to talk to your customers. You need to ask them for their feedback. You need to take note of who they are in particular. What walk of life do they come from? And of course, they all come from different types of walks of life, of course. But at the end of the day, you need to still know who they are. And of course, measuring. You can't figure out where you're going if you don't know how far or how to get there. Now, and I put Red Bull up here, and I'm not endorsing Red Bull. I only put them up here because, to me, and statistics show too, they are one of the leading content marketer companies out here. They are pretty much like a pioneer. One of the things that I give them kudos to is that rather than just promoting the energy drink itself, they engage their customers that drink or use Red Bull. So Red Bull TV focuses on all of the events that their followers and their customers actually engaged in. So the extreme games, the sports, and the events that they held, those are the things that they actually put out there on on their site because they're talking to their customers, not selling a soft drink. And speaking of soft drinks, Coca-Cola is another one. Coca-Cola has this strategy now they call Content 2020. And so rather than just engaging in selling soda, they're trying to create a community, if you will. So they're asking their customers to share their stories, just to share what's going on in their life, just to share what some of their values and their beliefs are, because they're trying to create a community of Coca-Cola drinkers. So there it is. It's about creating value. It really is no secret at all. It's easier said than done, but I want to try and give you a couple of tips of how you can get there. So the main thing is quality over quantity. We know that now. Regardless of how many folks come to buy your product or your service, you need to engage on how you are focusing on that one borrower. What is that one customer, borrower, or client looking for, and have you satisfied that particular need? And before we do that, I want to tell you very quickly about the buying cycle, of which I'm sure you're aware, but it all goes hand in hand with marketing. Of course, we know there's the awareness that the borrower has to have when they actually realize there's something that they need, right? Then there's the research. The next thing they do is they start researching. They start trying to figure out where are they going to go? What kind of thing do they need? What are the specifics? There's consideration. Now they're at the point where they're trying to decide, what are the things that, based on what I need, what companies or services seem to be gravitating towards my final decision? And then, of course, the buy. This is when your customer comes to you and they purchase the product. So the key is to know the buying cycle. There are two terms in marketing that I'm going to tell you about rather quickly, and then I really do encourage you to research further how these can be used in your business. They're infographics and influencers, and you'll be surprised how much you know about both of these terms already. But infographics, they're visual means. So when we see interactive elements like surveys and polls and games and those avenues that clients, entrepreneurs use in order to engage in their customers, those are infographics. So you know them already. Influencers in market. So marketing products and services to those that have a pulse on what your target market may want to know or hear. So influencers in market, they have a leverage, and it's usually because they have some particular knowledge or they have popularity. So who are some of the influencers in marketing? You asked? Celebrities. We know celebrities all the time are the number one influencers in market, particularly because they have an identity and they have their own value and belief system. So you link your product or service to somebody that, celebrity that has those same values and beliefs, you're creating then an influencer, and you're engaging customers to actually that subscribe or agree to this celebrity's particular value and belief system to also endorse your product. Bloggers. Now we know bloggers in this day and age have a very high influence, of course, on marketing, and of course that's because bloggers give what we call a genuine review, if you will, in the particular product or service. So folks value bloggers because they know that bloggers will tell them exactly how they truly feel about a product or service. So it's not necessarily a form of advertising. It's also used as a form of research for folks. So blogging is also one of a major influence in marketing. Now, these are tools that you can use to engage in influencers, and I'm not going to go into all of them. I'm only listing them here so that you can jot some of them down. But again, I encourage you to look into how you can leverage using influencers in your marketing today. And of course, LinkedIn and Google, you'll hear about all the time, but there are some other ones: Amazon, OneLoad, Outbrain, and Automation. I'm not endorsing or subscribing that you should use one or the other. These are just some of the leaders that have actually truly engaged in targeting marketing, content marketing for their own business. And they also offer a lot of tools to small business owners. So you want to make sure you engage in that. And here we are. Measure, measure, measure. So the only thing I say at the end of the day is, once you identify how you're going to reach your customer, what type of content marketing you're going to use, you want to find out what's effective. Of those tools that we talked about and all of those things that we talked about prior, what things are actually working for your product or service. So if you're using platforms of the social media, you want to monitor what are the shares and the likes. If you're going to use blogs and you're going to use forums, look to see what type of feedback and comments you're getting. If you're going to use live video, and we know people use live videos all the time now, you want to actually look and see who's sharing and what are the comments, so that you can hone in and tweak what it is that you need to do if that's truly necessary for your business. And then of course there's ads, there's emails, and there's all type of networking that you need to engage in and measure, because at the end of the day, you need to be sure that you are increasing your ROI. So thanks for joining me. Basically, just talk to your customer through your content. Take your time, do your research, and ask questions. You don't have to run out of there. You don't have to run out of the gate. Just make sure you're looking at what it is that you're doing at the same time. Don't hold back on yourself, and for the most part, make sure you're always doing something that's relatable to your customer. So thanks for joining me. Listen, let's take a look around and see if we can help you. If you want to talk more about how you can create value and how you can create content for your particular product or service, please just give us a call. You can visit us actually on our website, www.thebusinessliaisons.com, or you can always feel free to email thebusinessliaisons@gmail.com. I am on all major forms of social media posting, so there's always a way that you can find me. And whatever you do, keep calm and create more content. Thanks so much. Take care.